So we are excited to witness ultimate pilot edition of the University System of Maryland Entrepreneurship Face-Off. Thank you to all of our all-star round one judges and system partners for making this experiment possible. Now let's get things kicked off. I'd like to introduce you to the host for our evening, Director of the BSE program and Distinguished Entrepreneurship Professor of 20 years, Oliver Schlacke.
Hey, good evening, everyone. $100,000 are at stake. That's $87,000 in 2020 money. Yeah, we don't like inflation. But if on a positive note, that is $1 million in 2084 money if you have a 3.4 inflation rate. So it's $1 million in a long time. This competition is way better than Shark Tank, because in Shark Tank, educational moment, they take equity. We take a handshake and the hope that you continue the program. This money comes with no strings attached. Yes, this is good money. Tiny little string. If you don't spend it, it will show up in your 2024 tax return. So go and spend it. Speaking of tax return, you have about 5 more hours to file. So for those of you who need to leave, we'll see that. All right. First we have our main track, Main Street track. I have to get this right. This is a track where we have smaller companies with a $1,000 minimum revenue at this point. They're focused on organic growth. These companies will pitch for a top prize of $20,000, a second prize of $7,500, and a third prize of $1,000. Now, if you calculate that there are 3 teams on stage, you know, there's already one winner at least, right? You take home $1,000 just for showing up. That is a life lesson learned. 95% of life is showing up. So here you get even $1,000 for that. For each track, we have a $1,000 audience award. That means you can make your voice heard. So we'll come to that after the sessions. So the rules for the Main Street track. Each team has 5 minutes to pitch their idea. Then there are 4 minutes of judges' questions. And I want to ask you if we can do a social experiment while we're doing this. It's a 5-minute pitch. That is 300 seconds. Can you stay away from your phone for 300 seconds and pay 100% attention to that? After that, do whatever you want. The only exception is if you take a picture and you post it. All right? That's the only exception. But otherwise, we're going to focus on our competitors. All right. First up for our mainstream event. Company's name is Not Your Average Candles, and I can tell you these are way above average candles. These candles, as you will see, they will go boldly where no one has gone before, and I mean it. And some of you at my age, you know where this is leading. You will learn more about candles in the next 5 minutes that you ever thought possible. And here with us to show this is Courtney Johnson. He is the founder and CEO of Not Your Average Candle. Courtney is a bioengineering PhD student at UMD's James Clark School of Engineering. Courtney to the stage. Courtney, please pitch Dingman.
Hey, everybody. All right. So show of hands. How many people like candles? Hey, that's a great room. Growing up, my mom used to light candles every Saturday after we finished cleaning the house. It signified that I was finally done with my chores and I can relax for the day. Transitioning to college as a chemical engineering student, they became my obsession. I used to walk to Target almost daily for them as a stress reliever. But it wasn't until the pandemic, during my PhD program, when I began to make them. And I realized how many scientific concepts are within candle making. Melting points of waxes, flash points of fragrance oils, all of this is chemistry. And candles became my chemistry set. I sought out ways to make candles better using science, being meticulous about the components of the candle to address problems that candle lovers like me and you loathe, like this. Have you ever bought a candle and it tunnels as it burns, so you miss out on a large amount of the wax? Or it doesn't even last as long as you thought it would. Or it's been burning for hours and you can't even smell it. All of these things can be solved with science. And while doing this, I sought to showcase my love of science to the world. So this is not your average candles. We provide candles that illuminate the world of science through fragrance. Shown before you is our astronomy line. It is our introductory line into the company because we understand that most people learn about science through space, looking up into the stars and wondering what's beyond our planet. We have 10 different candles on hand that embody the planets, stars, and galaxies, like our solar flare candle on the left that represents the sun with citrus notes of orange, mango, and papaya, and our full moon candle in the center that represents the moon with herbal notes of eucalyptus, spearmint, and sage. There are many candle companies out here that sport dynamic fragrance profiles and carcinogen-free candles, but what sets us apart is that we incorporate science into our decision-making to make better candles, addressing the problems that consumers have and educating while doing it. On the inside of our candles, we decided on coconut wax due to its chemical and physical properties. It is a softer wax with a lower melting point than most eco-friendly options. And because of this, our candles are long-lasting with 50 to 60-hour burn times and do not tunnel like our soy wax competitors because less heat is needed to melt the wax evenly. Also, our wax allows our fragrance oils to bind and release more effectively, causing our hot throws and cold throws to be better than our competitors, meaning you will smell our candles every time. And like any chemistry set, we are meticulous about our testing. Even our candle wicks are meticulously selected and tested for optimal performance to enhance the burn and fragrance release of our candles. On the outside of our candle, each one has a QR code that takes you to our website where you can purchase and learn more about our candles, the scientific concept behind our candle. So candle manufacturing is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We know that our candles can satisfy the needs of any candle lover, but we plan to target the science community. So with 10 million STEM professionals in the United States and our candles being $25, our addressable market is estimated at $250 million. We plan to extend our reach through STEM organizations and events and expand from there. So over the last 2 years of our existence, we've been able to achieve close to $10,000 in revenue with over 350 candles sold. We started through friends and family and grew organically through word of mouth marketing. We've been able to amass over 200 customers and counting with close to 70% from our target audience. We even connected to our first distributor through JL Long Traders, a general store in Springfield, Missouri. We are proud of our achievements, but we know that we must raise capital in order to put a dent in the market with our candles. So over the next year, we seek to do just that, raising our capital through fundraising and growing our brand. So if we win the $20,000 grand prize, it will allow us to do three things. We can expand our inventory, secure a small space for operations and candle storage, and grow our brand, as is crucial to the success of our venture. For our go-to-market, we plan to target 3 engineering conventions, reaching over 30,000 potential customers. And with your investment, we'll be able to reach over 6 figures in revenue by 2025. We see not your average candles being everywhere. We use science to make phenomenal candles and use candles to educate about the world around us. We can be everywhere, but we plan to be the premier vendor to the science community when they think of candles. So this is our team. We're a bunch of nerds, mostly PhDs, with a love for for science and candles. We have a range of STEM engagement, operations, and financial experience to make Not Your Average Candles a success. So join us on our journey to illuminate the world of science through fragrance. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to your questions.
Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Jen.
That was very well done. So I'm just curious, as you think about sort of your growth path, you talked about this engineering
Yeah.
conference and you're very scientific, but when I think about the market, there's a broader market kind of in that candle lover
Yeah.
as opposed to the science side. So help me understand how you kind of bridge that gap between the science and then get into that.
Oh, of course. So when we started to create these candles, we know that I'm an engineer. I have been a scientist the majority of my life. We are multifaceted. We enjoy candles. So when I was starting to make my candles, I tested it out with people that were in the science community. And I know that that's a niche that hasn't been tapped into when it comes to candles. Like you said, what's the tie between the science and the candle making? So because we're focused on not only creating a phenomenal candle, but educating it with the STEM field, we wanted to make sure that we were tying to our audience first and then expanding from there.
Great, thank you.
Oh. Hi, Courtney. Great presentation. That was amazing.
Thank you.
I have one question for you.
Yes.
Is there anything in your venture that is protectable, whether it's design, IP, or how you're thinking that maybe Yankee or other competition may look into your formula and replicate?
Yeah. So we do have SOPs. So SOPs are standard operational procedures to make our candles. So it's not something that you innately know. We have temperatures that we melt our wax at, as well as where we pour our fragrance oils in. So it'll be much harder to replicate that. I haven't really looked into protecting that intellectual property. It's more so we're not going to let anybody know about it and kind of go from there.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah, you had some of the competitive advantages you have from a firm perspective. Can you talk a little bit about where you sit in terms of the price point in the market? I'm assuming it's a premium candle at the $25 price point, but can you
Actually, no.
context?
So we offer a 10 ounce in weight wax candle for $25. So that is standard to Bath and Body Works. They charge $25 for their candles that are the same size. So we provide not only eco-friendly candles that do not tunnel, that have a great hot throw, but at the same price of a Bath and Body Works.
Great, thank you very much.
Hey, Courtney, great job. I'd like to see your passion behind your products. Really nice. Question for you on the pricing, going back to the pricing, $25 for the 10 ounce,
10 ounces,
right?
yes.
And you said 65 to 70% gross profit on
Yes.
that. Is that static no matter how many you make, or as you increase quantity, will that gross profit grow?
That will actually grow. The bulk of our price when it comes to making a candle comes from our jars and our lids. That will cost maybe for our jars, it's around $1.25. For our lids, it's around the same price. So you see the bulk of it is from there. As we increase the quantity of jars that we get, so we buy in bulk, that will go down and our profit margins will go up.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, judges. We're out of time. Give a big
I
hand.
hope you all enjoy the candles.
Right. You saw the sales numbers, guys. We have what, 500, 600 people in the room. Let's do them a solid. If everybody buys one candle, we double the sales. That's what Terps do for Terps. Get a candle, get romantic, get spacey, please. All right. Second competitor for the night, Around the Block. Around the Block is mixing the art of thrifting, which is really cool these days, and they are reviving thrifted shirts with uplifting messages and upcycling them. With us tonight are the founders, Gabrielle McLaughlin, a 2023 graduate, soon to be, finance and business management major, and Joelle Anselmo, journalism and business management. And they're going to tell us what around the block does. Gabrielle, Joelle, please pitch Dingman.
This is 4617 College Ave. But if you go to the University of Maryland, you might know this as Pool House. Well, the pool in the backyard dried up years ago. The name has lived on. And this is just one of the many houses in Old Town College Park whose name sticks around for generations. Old Town's a neighborhood right outside of UMD where lots of students live. And last September, Joelle and I decided to sketch this map of all of the ridiculous yet clever house nicknames and landmarks in Old Town. This map really represents the unique characteristics and memories of all the students who have spent their time here.
Hi, we're Around the Block, a college apparel company that's much more than just disposable items in your closet. We create nostalgic and personalized designs that capture what college truly is, your home away from home. Our products invoke nostalgia and provide a unique snapshot of these college towns, which we hope to bring to students across the country. I'm Joelle Anselmo.
And I'm Gabrielle McLaughlin.
And this is our origin story. We first met at Theta when we were awkward freshmen in desperate need of friends. And then once we realized how much we loved each other, we moved to Landmark Apartments and finally live in Swing for our senior year, which is named because of the tire swing in the backyard. We realized that our college experience was shaped around the people that we lived with and the places that we lived in, but there was no product that truly encapsulated that personalized experience. So we decided to make one. We turned our rinky-dink initial sketch of the map into a single t-shirt prototype and managed to get 118 pre-orders right off the bat.
Students were so excited to get a product that showed the college experience from their own perspective. Our competitors like the University Bookstore and other college apparel companies like Route 1 Apparel and Fanatics only sell generic or university branded items. Nothing is memorable and nothing is personalized. Around the Block sells unique college town pride, and this is not the only thing that differentiates us.
Since our founding, we have decided to donate to Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York because it's a cause that's very personal to us. We have also always been aligned with what our customers truly value. Research shows that Gen Zers care about two things most when spending their money: nostalgia and sustainability. ATB is founded on both of these pillars. We initially thrifted our items from secondhand stores, but with the increased demand, have recently begun ordering in bulk from secondhand wholesalers. And then we get our designs printed on at a print shop in PG County Mall.
We follow a hybrid sales model where we sell both online through our website and Instagram and in person at pop-ups. This allows us to reach a broader market like alumni and students from other universities, while also getting direct feedback and insight from our customers. This business model is going to allow us to continue growing at Maryland and beyond. In just 7 months, we've generated over $10,000 in revenue and sold over 350 items. Our profit margin of 36% is well above the industry average of 3 to 5% for first and second-hand retailers in the US. And we're very proud of our 10% donation to Memorial Sloan Kettering. We've accomplished all of this as just Joelle and I working on this as full-time students.
The collegiate apparel industry is currently valued at $4.6 billion. We believe that we can be a part of this growing industry if given the right resources and expansion of our team.
Now you might be wondering, is this idea applicable to other universities? Well, we've already generated interest from students at other colleges like Elon, Penn State, and University of Georgia, who have neighborhoods similar to ours with the house nicknames. We believe that the traction we've seen at Maryland, combined with this enthusiasm from other universities, will help us continue to scale and reach these projections.
If we receive the $20,000, we're first going to start by optimizing our online presence to ensure a seamless customer experience. And we also love our designs, so we want to make sure we get them protected legally. And in the next month, we're excited to announce that we're hosting a 5K fundraiser race around Old Town College Park. We think it'll be great for our marketing efforts right here at Maryland, as well as showcasing what Around the Block is truly about at its core: community engagement and giving back. And lastly, our biggest goal is to expand to other universities. And the only way that we can do this is by hiring student ambassadors on the ground and continuing to order in bulk from secondhand wholesalers.
Thank you very much, and we'll take any questions.
So fantastic job, guys. This is really good stuff.
Thank you.
I have, on expanding a little bit on how would you get the money, and if you were to get it, to fund for your expansion into other universities and other places? Because it looks like it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, definitely. So we want to use a lot of the money to increase our inventory because it's been really hard. Like we said, at first we were hand picking the thrifted goods, which wasn't great for scaling. So we just started ordering from secondhand wholesalers. So that would be where the first start of the money would go towards. And then we would also need to hire student ambassadors to be on the ground there, and we'd be paying them commission based. So that's also where some of that money would be going towards. And then in addition to that, a graphic designer to help us continue creating the designs in bulk.
Nice job, ladies. Beautiful designs. I do have a question though, because the way I've always sort of thought about growth is, you know, you're better off going a mile deep than an inch wide rather than a mile wide and an inch deep. And so when I think about the way you guys think about growth, I feel like there's some missed opportunities here in College Park where you could probably leverage your experience and the time you've spent here to create different designs that might be more relevant to other people as opposed to going to other universities where you don't necessarily have that connection. So what drew you to other geographies rather than digging in here?
Yeah, so we actually are very focused on expanding and yes, to other universities, but we really want to grow right here at UMD because we know there's so much more potential. And we're actually working on a campus map instead of just the one neighborhood, Old Town. We know there are others. There's graduate gardens, things like that. So we want to make sure it's as inclusive as possible and really reach, optimize the UMD loyal community that we have right here. So.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. This goes with sort of your use of funds, but of the sales you made already, you said you had 10K in revenue. Congratulations. Have those been mostly e-commerce or the pop-ups?
55% of that has been e-commerce, and the other 45 has been our pop-ups. We've got some info here for that.
And part of your use of funds is to increase that. So which one are you sort of leaning to as you grow?
I would say the first use of funds would be towards the website because right now it's not super streamlined. We honestly just launched it a couple weeks ago. So we're really excited to dig more into that and make sure that that's a really seamless experience for all of our users on there. And also the Instagram and potentially hiring someone to help with marketing and other modes of social media because we're just on Instagram right now. So that's where that would go. And then we love the pop-ups because it's really great to get the feedback. And while we're there, we hear about other houses and neighborhoods, things like that. So we would definitely be really excited to continue doing that as well.
Yeah. And we also know that the website is going to allow us to reach alumni, which is one of our biggest goals because we really want to get into that market since these houses have been here for generations. So,
yep.
All right. Thank you very much, judges. Thank you, ATB. All right, you heard it. ATB has trouble sourcing used clothes. Anybody in the room with the pre-pandemic $90 Supreme shirt that is not cool anymore? These are the ladies who take it to the next level. All right, next competitor, room 242. Remember this, room 242. That is the room where it happens. All right, with us tonight, Kang Wemby. He's the founder of Room 242. It's a place where aspiring musicians get a real place to be discovered, to work, and as I read on his website, it even comes with a twin XL bed for all those overnight sessions. So with us today, say hi to Kang Wemby, entertainment major at UMD. Kang, pitch Dingman.
You know, I remember the first time I ever stood on a stage just like this. The first time I ever looked into the eyes of the audience and had to share a part of myself, my music. It was then that I had realized two things. One, that my journey within this music industry had truly gotten started. And two, that I was thrown into what felt like the deep end, without the ability to float, let alone swim. Luckily, I was able to find communities that helped me with the resources and the knowledge I needed to thrive. That turned me into the artist that I am today. My name is Kang, and I'm the founder of Room 242. Now, unfortunately, most young musicians do not have the luck that I did when starting out their musical careers. In fact, some studies show that most musicians aged 18 to 25 are poised to fail due to a lack of support and resources, and most importantly, community. Now, that's exactly why we built Room 242. We want to level the playing field for the young artists. So we created an incubator for the underground musician, where they're provided with housing, label services, and bi-weekly artist development workshops in order to help launch their careers. Now at Room 242, artists are able to rent a room, and during their 6 to 12 month lease, they're provided with artist-centric amenities such as our 24/7 recording studio, rehearsal space, and artist development workshops. During their lease, they're also helped to create and distribute their music through our in-house record label, Room 242 Records. Now, once their lease is over, they're completely free to leave, no strings attached. This means that we don't own their masters, their royalties, streaming, publishing, likeness, none of that. This is how we've redesigned the traditional artist commune for the 21st century. In addition to our residence and our label services, we also are able to operate our space as a house venue, enabling us to sell tickets and host events curated for the local community. Now, according to 2020 US Census data, there are over 14,000 musicians aged 18 to 25 in the United States. However, we believe this information could potentially be severely underreported and estimate that there's an average 50 to 75 musicians at each university across the US. Now, within the next few years, we're planning to focus our growth efforts towards the DMV area, which has 160 colleges and universities. Given that our bedrooms are priced at about $900 starting out, we expect that within the next 5 years, there's a market opportunity of about $130 million per year. Now, our three services generate revenue in three different ways. Our residence generates revenue through monthly rent payments made by our tenants. Our events generate revenue through ticket sales. And our label services generate revenue by taking a percentage of the money that we help our artists generate. In the fall, we're planning to launch our first living space right here in College Park 2023, with rooms starting at $900 per bedroom and increasing depending on room size. With the current verbal agreements we have in place with some local landlords, we expect to be able to profit roughly $200 per bedroom per month with our first space. Now, our average ticket price is about $11.40, and we spend roughly $2.50 per attendee, enabling us to profit about $9 per attendee every time we throw an event. Using these pricing strategies, we've been able to generate over $7,000 in revenue within the last 6 months. Now, in the next few months, we're planning to, one, heavily increase our marketing efforts towards the 18 to 25-year-old demographic, hold monthly events, and create a back-to-back release and performance schedule for the artists currently on our roster. With this in mind, we expect that within our first year of operations, we'll be hitting over $30,000 in revenue. Now, as previously stated, we're focusing our growth efforts on the DMV area. And by year 5, with this in mind, with the multiple houses that we're planning to open, we expect that we'll be pulling in over $300,000 in revenue. Now, so far, Room 242, we've been able to successfully release over 35 singles and albums, totaling over 1 million streams. We've accumulated over 10 Washington Area Music Award finalist nominations. We've had artists perform at venues such as DC9, Union Stage, the Clarice right here, Loyola, UMBC, and so much more. And we've been able to sell over 900 tickets within the last 6 months. And all that's just the beginning. Now, while I might be standing up here alone, I'm lucky enough to be supported by some of the greatest minds I've ever known. From artists to colleagues, it's the people behind Room 242 that make me so sure that we're on the right path to changing the very course of the music industry. Now, upon winning the funds, we plan on using 60% to going towards our housing in the fall, building out our artist-centric amenities. 20% would go towards our events, our next 3 events, making sure that we have the supplies and personnel needed. And another 20% would go towards marketing the upcoming releases we have slated. Again, my name is Kangi Wimby, founder of Room 242, where the music lives. I'll take any question. Thank you.
Love to see you succeed because I will be your first investor.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I have one question for you, and I hope you take it positively because I can see how this business model is in corporate real estate. So how would you manage the insurance? How are these tenants insured, and how does the landlord manages the liability or the potential liability, and any considerations on insurance?
I'm going to answer your question, but I just want to make sure that I'm understanding it correctly. You're saying how would we ensure that there's no insurance like liability issues, that kind of thing?
Typically, in this model, the renter will have to provide. We have to have some renter's insurance, and you have landlord.
Yeah.
This is a model that will be quite risky from an insurance perspective. So, is there any consideration right now how you're going to handle insurance, or how your tenants will secure insurance in this concept?
Well, we've thought about that a little bit, but definitely what we've generally been planning to do is use the same strategies that our landlords are working with. So in the sense that we've been talking to some of the landlords around here that we've been using to figure out where we're going to launch our first space. So we're just using their same policies, whatever requirements they have for their living space for any tenants to come in, we require those for our tenants and then have them provide that for us. And then, yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Good.
So I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of that question because you're not going to own the home, you're renting one, or you're finding a space and then you're putting it in. And so to that effect, how do you manage the events, which I think are probably happening at your place? So how do you kind of manage that, making sure that's compliant with the neighborhood? Like what happens if, how do you find the right space to make sure that's something that can perpetuate, because that is a meaningful portion of what it is that you're providing to your residents?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, we have insurance for any events that we throw. And secondly, it's all about communication. So we go to the neighbors at any space that we're at, and we're like, hey, we're going to be throwing an event here. This is everybody who's coming. This is all the information. This is how you can contact us if there's any noise complaints. And so far, we've been able to be pretty successful with that. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the rest of the team in addition to yourself? You're kind of starting 3 separate businesses here, right? You got a landlord, you've got event management,
right,
and ticketing and theater, as well as the music production and tooling around that. So who else is helping you juggle those 3 kind of separate streams?
Yeah, no, I mean, besides me, I kind of generally oversee things. I bring in my support and expertise when I can. But the people that I had on screen, they help me with stuff like marketing for all the label releases. They help me with stuff like communicating with the landlords. They help me with stuff such as facilitating all of our events. It's a very collective effort. And one of the major parts about that is that we're all artists. So it's for artists by artists. And that's something that's been really helpful in making sure that we're actually successful.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, just a point of clarification real quick. So the events you sell tickets for, they're happening at the rooms you're renting for the artists?
Yeah, well, not at the rooms, more like the common spaces, living room, basements, that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's very house venue centric, similar to like other places like SoFi South.
All right, so it's not in like it's more so it's not like in a condo or an apartment building. No. It's more in like a home setting in a house party type feel.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Second thing is on the marketing side to attract artists between the ages of 18 and 25 to your business. What are you doing to attract those artists? Is it word of mouth from you and your artist community? Or are you reaching out different social media platforms? How are you attracting artists to come to your program?
It's primarily through social media and like different, I guess, pop-up events that you'd call them for the music industry. A lot of artists aged 18 to 25, these underground musicians and whatnot, you can find them on, there's sort of Instagram type communities and Instagram, TikTok, Discord, everywhere. They're online. That's where Gen Z really is. And it's by going through those places, placing our ads there, showing our faces, showing recap videos of the events that we throw, the success of some of the artists that we've had, that we've been able to pull artists in.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, judges. Give a big hand to Kang.
Thank you.
Promise you, that's the room where it happens. And by the way, a couple of years from now, you were in the room where this happened. So keep an eye out for Kang and room 242. All right, this were our first 3 pitches here. We are now, and everybody is trained, right? You see this thing behind me. The QR code is up. For those of you who have never heard of that, you can go to go.umd.edu/PDC23 audience choice. Super easy to remember. All right. We give it a few seconds for you to check in. $1,000 are at stake. Make sure you place your voices wisely here. All right. All right, let's continue. Let's do multitasking a little bit. All right. We are now in our second track. This is the David and Robin Quattrone Tech track. I had to do this with a pause in between. This is a track where we're looking at high-tech, tech-enabled businesses. The main price is $30,000. Yes, tech is more expensive. A second place of $10,000 and $1,000 for the third team. Plus, again, an audience choice award. So a lot of money at stake. We're following the same protocol. 5-minute pitch, no phones, 4-minute judges. And let's get started with our second track. First up, a company called Wise Cities. Wise Cities addresses a growing problem, the social isolation of a senior population in the United States. I will be soon in their target audience. The population of seniors in the United States will double by 2060. With us today is Catherine Aria-Close, the CPO, Chief Product Officer from Wise Cities. Wise Cities already won a little bit of accolades here last year when they took home a $1,000 social impact prize. But that was just a rehearsal. They're ready for the big stage now. Kat, please pitch for Dingman.
If you filled this room with 100 adults over the age of 65, 65 of them would be socially unhappy, 40 would be chronically lonely, and 25 would be clinically socially isolated. Nationwide, this means that 36 million older adults struggle with being alone, which can increase their risk of early mortality by up to 50%. We saw this reflected in our grandparents and decided to find out how getting older could put someone at such a high risk of being alone. We spoke with over 100 older adults, caregivers, and experts who confirmed that older adults have a burning desire to be involved in their communities, but they give up before even trying because the opportunities to do so are so hard to find. In fact, this perceived absence of services and opportunities is a top reason why these 36 million older adults are lonely. So we spoke to 20 businesses that do offer senior services to find out why they were so inaccessible. And they told us they had no idea how to reach the older population effectively, which was costing them. In fact, on average, it costs these businesses up to $400 to acquire a single older customer. Our work caught the attention of local and state governments who were struggling to reach the older population in the exact same way. The dozens of representatives we spoke with confirmed that their services could not address isolation because older adults did not know about them, a disconnect that costs US governments $7 billion per year. We realized the vested interest these groups had in creating mutual value was an overlooked opportunity when the only thing missing was a channel to make it possible, which is where we come in. Hi, I'm Kat Close, the co-founder of Wise Cities, a platform that serves as this channel. Our platform is a web app specifically designed to connect older adults to their communities. The key is making existing opportunities that were previously hidden accessible. To show you how it works, let's follow Tammy through the platform. Tammy, an independent older woman, uses our platform to find a knitting class at her local senior center. The platform then recommends a local transportation service to get her there, which she pays for using a county-provided transportation voucher she found right on our platform. Tammy's use of the platform promotes her social independence, increases utilization of her county senior services, and brings a new customer to a local business. But you might be wondering, why not just Google? Well, Google is overwhelming and is only helpful when you know exactly what you're looking for. Meanwhile, existing social platforms for older adults like Senior Planet and Stitch are either difficult to use or omit businesses and governments entirely. Our platform provides an easy way to discover that benefits the whole community. To start, we partner with community centers to onboard their older members free of charge. We then sell access to governments and businesses who pay to have their services curated on our platform. Governments pay annual contracts starting at $9,000. Businesses pay tiered monthly subscriptions up to $500. The 17,000 centers across the US help us gain initial traction with these 36 million older adults. The 15 million relevant businesses in the US are a $7.5 billion market, and the government market is triple that. The city of Fairfax paid us to build this idea for them. This initial city pilot got us interest from 4 additional governments and landed us a conversation with the state of Virginia within 1 week of outreach, even being pre-launch. So far, we have 10 committed business customers, have 4 centers testing our platform, have raised $23,000 in funding, have included 190 stakeholders in our ongoing research, and have been recognized nationwide. Building on this momentum, we can have 2,000 older adults and 200 businesses on our platform by the end of 2023 and be expanding across the DMV the very next year. Distributing through direct sales, local national networks, partnerships, referrals, and self-service, we will reach $1 million in revenue by 2025. But your support will help us take those 2024 goals, those 2025 goals and make them our 2024 outcomes. It will fund product development and efficacy testing, will accelerate our go-to-market timeline, and will bring a multilingual and voice interactive version of our platform to the 700,000 older adults in the DC metro area. Our product might be breaking stereotypes, but so are we. We are a woman-founded company with a team of 15 diverse students across the nation, and we're backed by an expert advisory board. We hope that you make the wise choice to support us. Thank you.
Kat,
Yes.
no matter what happens, I really do hope this succeeds because I think elder care is something that's very dear to me. So I'm caring for elderly parents as well. So I do appreciate everything you're doing. Help walk me through just from the perspective of maintaining the data that's on your platform, because you're now talking to a bunch of different companies. I'm assuming there's some back-end plugin where you can just scrape all of that data. So how do you make sure that you have all of the most updated data and all of that for your seniors?
Absolutely. And to confirm, this is for the businesses and governments who,
Correct.
Okay, awesome. Yes, so to start, while we're in our soft launch, we are doing this manually, and they will send us data each month to infill into our platform, but we will develop an API before our official launch that will scrape this data. In addition, we do have a version of the platform specifically for businesses and governments that is where they can input their own data on their own, and they will have a designated member of their team. For businesses and for governments, it's usually the program manager who will input the data into our platform themselves.
Kat, fantastic job. It
Thank
was
you.
one of the fastest pitches I've ever seen. I couldn't even, all the data was flying so fast. But could you speak a little bit more to government and your revenues that you're targeting, and it's specifically state and local, or is there anything within the federal government that you see having a larger potential for bigger contracts?
Absolutely. So right now we're targeting counties. That is what has been recommended to us by consultants in the federal and government field because it's easiest to penetrate. However, we have been having conversations with consultants at the federal level who potentially see an entryway into the administrative of community living. We are just starting those conversations, so there is potential that we are exploring.
Thank you. Congratulations on getting the pilot with Fairfax. Are they continuing business with you?
Yeah, so the pilot formally ended, I believe, June of last year, and it was mostly for discovery and to build our platform. We did build a fully functional beta that we tested out last year in December, and it taught us a lot. We actually had to pivot. So we're planning a relaunch in Fairfax this upcoming summer.
And what was the biggest learning point from that contract?
Well, the reason for our pivot is that we had initially started developing a native app, but then we ran into the instance of the download barrier, where you have to navigate through the app store to get there. So we switched our platform. It's now a web app that is available across all devices that you can access from any browser, which is very fantastic when working with libraries and community centers. But beyond that, seniors love technology. Older adults love technology, and they love it when it's designed for them, which is exactly what we're doing.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Give another big hand for Wise Cities. Yeah, these AARP mailers look more interesting every single day, and I'm looking at you guys. They're in the first couple of rows, right? All right. Next up, it wouldn't be a proper 2023 pitch competition if we wouldn't use the A word, right? Artificial intelligence, because what we have right now is obviously not enough. All right, with us today is Pranav Shikarpur. He is the founder of Lingo AI, and Lingo AI is a service that will translate any English-speaking YouTube video into a language of your choice. So if you don't get the joke in that language, you might get it in another language. Pranav is from the College of Computer, Mathematical and Natural Science here at UMD. Pranav, it's time to pitch Dingman.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pranav, the co-founder at Lingo AI. Lingo AI is a platform for multilingual video dubbing using AI for content creators. Content made by creators has exploded in the past few years. The average American watches more YouTube and TikTok than traditional media. Subsequently, YouTube creator payouts surpassed $10 billion in just 2022. However, when we look at YouTube as a platform, you'll notice that a majority of its top content is in English, while its top 10 countries speak 9 different languages. And if we look at the AdSense dollar per view, what you'll notice is that if an English-American creator relaunches their content in 9 different languages, they can almost double their revenues. Some of the largest creators like MrBeast and like Nastia on YouTube have done this. They've hired teams of translators and voice actors, dubbed their content and relaunched it in various different language markets. However, this is really hard. It requires a lot of time, a lot of effort, and most importantly, it costs a lot of money. We aim to solve this by making translation and dubbing cheaper, fully managed, and more scalable using our AI models. Let's look at a demo. On the left side is a video from one of our creators. And on the right side is the same video dubbed by Lingo AI. So as you can see, we don't just do voice dubbing, we also do on-screen caption translation. We're able to do speaker detection and a lot more to ensure that the content is as localized as possible to each language market. Our AI models are around 90% as good as the quality of human dubbing, but we're bridging this gap by using built-up data to capture all the colloquialisms that traditional translators use. Our goal is to breach and eventually surpass the capabilities of human dubbing. Our business model is simple. Every time we partner with a new creator, we launch different translated channels, dub and relaunch their content, and on each translated channel, they receive 80% of the revenue while we collect 20% of the revenue. There are no upfront creator fees, and a lot of creators really love this because it's a super risk-free model to sign with us. Our traction so far is great, and our creators love us. A month ago, before Pitch Dingman, we launched with one creator who had 11 million subscribers. Today, we have 25 million subscribers and with 10 creators, and they collectively have 1.2 billion views. Our creators receive about $140,000 in monthly recurring revenue. However, if we're even able to capture about 20% of the traction that they've gotten and relaunch their content in various different language markets, we would be hitting revenues of $5,600 per month. And that's just the lower end. By the end of the year, we project to partner with 100 creators, and the $30,000 will help us go a really long way. Here are a bunch of our top creators. Our biggest creator, Woody and Kleiny, 12 million subscribers. We launched with them 2 months ago, and in just 2 weeks of launch, they captured 100,000 views on their Spanish and Hindi channel. We're a team of 2 co-founders, moreover 2 friends that met at Startup Show. Ian, who's graduated and sitting right over there, is very technically talented, having done machine learning and high-performance computing research at UMD. He's also well-connected in the startup space, having run Startup Show, as well as being a venture scout for Contrary Capital. I, on the other hand, co-founded a venture-backed e-learning company before this, and I've also led developer marketing at a really large cybersecurity company under the CMO. Our biggest competitor is Unilingo TV, a company that hires an army of voice actors to dub and translate content for the largest creators on YouTube. However, because of their heavy reliance on voice actors, they're usually not very scalable. Our other competitor, Respeecher, is a company that uses AI to dub their content. However, their target audience are production houses like Lucasfilms, which makes their pricing point close to about $30,000, which is really expensive for a lot of creators. Our next generation features, like neurostyle transfer for voices, ensure that we would be able to surpass the quality of human dubbing while remaining scalable and affordable to creators of all sizes. Our goal is to make creators global media houses. We started out with voice video dubbing because we see a 10x potential reach. However, we want to provide all the tools necessary to creators so that we can ensure that they can monetize their audience at home and around the world. Thank you, and I'm happy to accept questions.
Congratulations, awesome idea. Can you talk a little bit about the technology stack you're using here to produce the output, and then why you feel you have a competitive advantage versus, say, YouTube just turning this feature on their own, on their videos?
Great question. I have a slide for that. So we see that we definitely do recognize the fact that we're launching on YouTube. There's a YouTube platform risk. The thing we want to do is we don't want to stick to one platform. We want to stay multi-platform. So one of our biggest creators, Woody and Kleiny, for example, they're doing a direct partnership with Snapchat to launch their Snapchat shows, and they roped us into that deal. So we're launching dubbed content with the Snapchat team for their particular shows, right? But the second reason we see that companies like Google, Facebook, and a lot of the other companies would not do this that soon is primarily because there's a huge AI conservatism behind launching AI models. We're seeing this with the launch of large language models like Bard. Like Google had a big problem with that. And that's why we see a lot of hesitancy with launching those. Finally, we also have a human-in-the-loop verification process. So every time we download their video from their English channel, dub their content, and process it, and then republish it. And before we republish it, we have actual humans that are usually native speakers that verify these transcripts to make sure that they're valid and they will have the same context and generate the same amount of views in another country, right? And we plan to scale this up. Our goal is we're basically building models to gamify this process of verification and giving it out to people in India, Philippines, Mexico, Germany, France, so that they could do this and we basically do payouts. So that's the reason we believe that we would succeed.
Great, thank you.
Very cool application. So question on the revenue stream. So partnering with your creators, do you then own the channel and the revenue's coming to you and you're paying out the creator, or how's the revenue model work for you to get paid?
That's a great question. So the creators really love us, and the reason for this is primarily because we just have a revenue share. So the way it works is every time we partner with them, we launch new YouTube channels and automatically publish it, so it's fully managed. And YouTube takes about 6 months, at least the way we're doing it, to basically, once we hit monetization, because there's some parameters. And after that, they start generating revenue, and they just get paid out on that basis. And I'm not sure if I answered your question.
Do you own the channel?
No, so they own the channel, they own all the IP to their content. All we do is just translate their content, and we also get access to train our machine learning models on their data.
Okay. So for you to get paid after it becomes monetized, you have a revenue share where you'll see the proceeds come through and know what.
Yeah. So just in technicalities, we get added as manager, so we collect the payouts and we do it to the creators.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Could you tell us a little bit more if you were to win the competition? First of all, great job.
Thank you.
And what would you do with that money in terms of expansion, in terms of particularly focusing on marketing and those efforts?
Sure, great question. I have a slide for that too. Yeah, but our primary goal is we want to hit 100K subscribers by the end of this year, 100 YouTubers by the end of this year, and we plan on using 15K to expand on in terms of scaling up our technology to process thousands of videos a day, as well as also in terms of getting more people to get more creators signed quickly, right? We plan on using another 10K to do AI-specific development. So just last week, we actually launched a voice model that would basically copy the style of an English creator and then dub it and copy that same thing to Spanish, Hindi, German, whatever it is, right? And we're launching that. So those are the kinds of improvements that we keep doing every single week. And finally, we want to do growth engineering. By working with so many creators, what we've done is we've created this plethora of data as to what content in which context would work very well in which country. We want to basically engineer that so that we can just look at one particular video from one creator and tell whether that's going to work or not, and then basically get more intelligent in that way.
All right. Thank you very much, Pranav. Where's Ian? Where's your co-founder? Did we see Ian? All right, this is Ian here, everybody. There we go. All right, Pranav, just a personal advice from me. If you ever translate something into my native German, right? You gotta dial the humor dial way, way down, right? That's what they say. That's what they say. All right, third contestant in the Quattrone track. This company might bring back memories for some of you from chemistry class, at least for me, when you see that. This new idea, the company is called Sustainably, solves a major energy waste in the R&D space. With us tonight is Kevin Tu. He's with the College of Computer, Mathematical and Natural Science here at UMD, and he's going to tell us what they come up with. Kevin, please pitch Dingman.
So imagine that your landlord says, hey, I'm going to pay for your energy bill in perpetuity. How much you react differently? You might leave your AC on forever. You might leave the lights on forever. Who cares, right? You're not the one paying the bill. Now, what if I said that research universities and institutions are facing the same problem as the landlord because of these things? Sashes or fume hoods. They're workstations that scientists work at when handling volatile chemicals, and they use as much energy in a day as a house does in a year. Now, you can close sashes the same ways you turn off a light when you leave a room, but a lot of scientists just don't do that because they're not the ones paying the energy bill. In fact, this is a really serious problem. There's 2 million fume hoods across academic, industrial, and government labs, and 60% of them are open all the time, which leads to $4 billion in energy waste every single year. If we were to solve this problem, we could fund 4 Harvards worth of research and cut back on our carbon footprint by 21 million tons. I'm Kevin, I'm the CEO of Sustainably, and this is the problem we're trying to solve. Now I deal with this problem firsthand as a UMD sustainability manager, and I want to tell you about the solution that we are using currently. It's really high tech, really. We spend months going door to door, trying to ask scientists to close their sessions. And to monitor their use, we have to analyze gigabytes of SASH energy data on Excel sheets that crash all the time and lose our work. It's really a pain. And interviews with 30 sustainability managers all agree. What we're doing now isn't efficient, it's not scalable, and it makes energy reporting our jobs almost impossible. So we created the first digital SASH manager. We engineered an IoT sensor that reminds scientists to close fume hoods, and it feeds data into our data analytics dashboard tailored for sustainability managers. It provides real-time data on energy use, cost savings, and environmental impact, reducing what takes months to seconds. And with our hardware-software combo, we provide ROI in months, ease and scalability of Green Lab efforts, and reportable environmental metrics. Our business model is B2B. For academic partners, we sell our SASHs at a flat rate and our software on a SaaS model, and we scale the price up for industrial and government partners. And our market research shows that our SAM is $1 billion, and considering that research orgs are becoming more environmentally conscious and adopting net zero policies, we expect to capture $100 billion in the next 8 to 10 years. And now is the perfect time to act. Just last year, the US, UK, and UN all declared that grant-funded research must meet certain environmental reporting benchmarks by 2025. That means research orgs are actively looking for solutions like ours that meet these benchmarks. And furthermore, our direct competitors don't meet these benchmarks, are several times more expensive, and don't save our customers time. Speaking of customers, we've worked with them the entire way to ensure that our product meets their needs. As a result, we participated in several selective customer discovery accelerators, as well as, and we were recently invited to present our tech at the world's largest sustainability conference. We also completed a one-year pilot at UMD where we saved the university $15,000 and reduced our carbon footprint by 71 tons. More excitingly, UMD wants to keep working with us, and we expect to close a $40,000 contract by the end of May. Looking forward, this year we're focusing on paid pilots and securing our first contracts, and we're working with a nonprofit to create an international SASH competition which will give us global visibility. Ultimately, our vision is to become the go-to vendor for sustainable lab solutions around the world. And we've been working towards this vision for the past year and a half. In addition to completing the pilot, we also signed 4 MOUs for paid pilots with large research institutions and raised $10,000 in non-dilutive funding. So judges, we're moving fast, and 30K provides us with key product improvements that allow us to execute on paid pilots, intellectual property rights, as well as a stronger sales pipeline. We're expecting to close 3 contracts by the end of this year, bringing in our first 100K in revenue. And we hope to scale this to 178 institutions by 2026, as well as meet our goal of reducing carbon emissions by 1 million tons. And we're the right team to do this. Altogether, we have 10 years of experience in founding companies, and we've also done pioneering work in green tech as well as data science. But above all, we're united by a mission to create a culture of sustainability for science. And with our tech, we can ensure that we will continue to innovate sustainably. Thank you.
Great work, and you have to get, sorry, that tagline, sustainability for science. If it's not trademark, it should be yours. So can you go into the revenue, how the 100K that you're expecting and how that model works with those customers on your year one?
Right, so that's 2 questions, right? Breakdown of the first 100K, and then the second one was how the model works for them.
Yes.
Right, so we expect to have 3 institutions by the end of this year, and they're all going to continue based off the pilots. So one of them's UMD, and the other one's from the other MOUs we have signed. We're expecting, based on our model, that we should be able to make 100K. That's the first question. The second question is how it fits into how they pay our model, right? So we're specifically targeting first large research institutions, and generally they have, well, like UMD, they all have around 800 fume hoods. So we can sell sensors for each one of those fume hoods and then scale the price according to our SaaS model here. So depending on the number of sensors they have, the price scales up. Now, like a lot of universities, especially academia, they're all a bit more risk adverse than most other customers. So we're starting off with a lower amount of fume hoods rather than all 800. And also we're also giving them a bit of a discount just so they can remain our customers.
Kevin, nice job. I just want to make sure I understand the sensor portion of this. So is the sensor indicating how long the sash is open, or is it indicating the levels of the chemicals that are in the room so that you can now close the sash?
Right, that's a great question. So our sensor, it measures how much energy use each fume hood is using. That's the main thing we're trying to fix. And if it goes above a certain threshold, then it basically reminds scientists, hey, you got to close this, it's not being used, it's just wasting energy at this point.
And so is there a baseline? I mean, I would assume that if, I know nothing about this, but in a laboratory, there might be times when there's an excessive amount of fumes or maybe a lot more work to be done. And so how do you ensure that you are not, I'm assuming the downside risk of that is that you close it too early and that the sensor sort of tells you that you should close it early. So how do you sort of gauge all that? How does the sensor sort of know?
That's a great question. So the answer to that is that that's not usually what's going to happen with fume hoods. They were built with a heavy amounts of over caution. So generally over too many fumes in a lab that usually doesn't happen. Usually they're very good at doing their job, and that's ventilating the fumes, right? I think when you mentioned them closing too early, it's very much user centric. So it basically senses whether or not a person is there or not. If there's no one there and it's open, then it's unattended, that's a problem. But if there's a person there, it's not a problem, they're working. But the moment they leave, they should close it. And that's what our thing is for money. Kind of like leaving the room with the lights on or off.
I told you I knew
That's okay.
So a question to piggyback on that then, there's no way to build that in so it automatically shuts off like a light goes off when no one's in the room?
That's a great question. So there are automatic sash closers, but there are problems with them. And there's a reason why they're not doing so well in the market. First, they're way too expensive and they require extensive maintenance and they're disruptive to research. Like if you were to install one of them, it would take several weeks. That's weeks that you're not doing research and bringing in funds for the university via grants. The third thing is I have anecdotes where people where the closers like close on the users, and then the users end up suing the institution, and it's not a pretty sight. So,
and one more question on the cost: $100 for the sensor. What's your cost to make, and what is the brakes going down? Does that cost get lower as you produce more units?
The sensor?
Yes, the sensor. How much does it cost per unit? What's the gross profit on the one sensor? You're selling for 100. So what's your cost and what's your gross? And then is that scalable? Does it go down with more?
It costs us about $20 to manufacture each sensor. And that includes manufacturing and shipping to us. Yep. And then it's $100 for academic partners, and we can scale up to 300, 500 for academic or for industry and government partners.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, judges. All right. We are almost in the change mode. What happens now? First of all, there are two main things we learned just here, everybody. This is education, right? Number one, a sash is not what you wear after a beauty pageant. That's what I learned. And number two, the real problems for energy use in the academic field are not these Bitcoin miners. These are these nerds in front of their sashes. Okay, we have that too. What happens now is we have our first group of judges worn out. They have asked all the questions, but they will go and they will deliberate in the next room. So we're going to give a big hand to our first set of judges. They will vote and deliberate on the first two tracks, and they will be here in time with their choices. So give a big hand to the first round of judges, please. So while the judges leave, behind me, you know the drill, the QR code, $1,000 audience price. It's the wrong code. It's the wrong code. The wrong code. Just use some eraser and take out the third this third one from the right. So we're working on it. We're working on it. Can we work on it and then come back to it? Or we want to work on it now? Keep it open. All right. Yep. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Now the pros come on stage. What we have now is our All-Star track. The All-Star track features companies who have, either here at UMD or elsewhere around the state, already won a competition. The rules are a little bit different. These are 3-minute pitches and 3 minutes of questions for the judges. What's at stake? $10,000 for the winner and $1,000 for the second prize, and nothing for the third and fourth. Unless you vote them in, because there's also an Audience Choice Award with a different QR code when we get to that point. All right. Who's first? Our first contestants in this track, which is our All-Star Pilot track, first time ever, is Haven Cloud. For tonight, we have the co-founder and CEO, Mahmoud Shalby. He's representing the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Haven Cloud is a privately focused encrypted cloud storage with a unique way to secure data. You will see this in a second. Haven Cloud has already won the 2021 CBIC pitch competition. Mahmoud, please pitch Dingman.
Welcome to Haven, the world's most secure and privacy-focused cloud storage platform. Today's big question: how many people here would allow a stranger to enter their home and look through their personal belongings? Most of us would say no, yet we do it every single day. We might not do this every day physically, but we do it digitally. Ask yourself, what happens when you upload your private photos, videos, and documents to the cloud? Where does that data go? And more importantly, who has access to it? Every day we see headlines like these of companies invading user privacy and databases being hacked. One of the most notable being the 2020 Baltimore City and County Public School System ransomware attack, which cost the school systems $9 million and put students out of schools for over 2 weeks. This ransomware attack was actually one very similar to the one we ran on our beloved judges. We scraped all 6 judges' profiles from a free online database, had ChatGPT draft the malicious code, and used a free texting service to send it to them. The results? Within 12 hours, we had 2 visitors where we could see their IP address, longitude and latitude, and terrifyingly, we know that one of our judges is using iOS 16.3.1, which has a vulnerability that would let me execute code on their phone, which would let me scrape their photos, files, or contacts. Now, my lawyer wants me to tell you this is for educational purposes, but this is just to show you how simple it is to do something so invasive. What's the solution? Welcome to Haven, the world's most secure and privacy-focused cloud storage platform. Like all cloud storage services, Haven lets you upload photos and videos to the cloud. But what makes Haven unique is our state-of-the-art decentralization, encryption, and privacy. Decentralization makes database leaks and ransomware a thing of the past. Encryption ensures that no one but you can see your files, not even Haven. And our privacy ensures that we collect absolutely 0 data. Our business model is very simple and scalable. You only pay for the storage that your business needs. Our market is the $50 billion behemoth cloud storage industry. Beachhead clients include universities and school systems, as well as startups who deal in sensitive data. So far, we have 7 master service agreements and have the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and Hopkins demoing within the next 3 months. Most notably, we're in conversation with the Governor Moore's cabinet in order to pilot Haven on a statewide level. As a result, we've been featured last month in IB Times as one of the 10 fastest growing tech companies in the DMV. Over the next year, we have an annual recurring revenue of $120 from these 7 customers, which should grow to $3.5 million by the end of 2026. We're the Haven team, 3 undergraduate students who want to make the world a more secure place. We're backed by UMBC's BW Tech, Hopkins Fast Forward U, and Towson Startup Accelerator. Today's prize money will go into accelerating shipment to our clients, as well as penetration testing and cybersecurity testing for our platform. Thank you, and we hope you consider Haven as the alternative to your cloud storage need.
Great presentation. Question for you. What kind of independent studies have been done on your platform to kind of substantiate your claim of being really secure?
Absolutely.
Every storage device pretty much says that.
Absolutely. So the way we do is we upload our data onto the blockchain. And what makes it unique is that because we collect absolutely no data, we're allowed to put it on the blockchain, right? So popular cloud storage services like Google, Dropbox, iCloud, they collect sensitive data in order to sell it to third parties, and that's how they make their money, right? Google is not free. It's the kindness of their heart. They're making money off the data. So because we don't collect any of the data, we can put it on the blockchain, which would make that data accessibility otherwise impossible. So the security that has financial institutions built on top of it, Tesla's invested billions into it. And it's already proven. Everything's on the blockchain. We're not reinventing the wheel.
I guess following on that, can you talk about the anyone who would enter into that market? So someone else who knows how to use blockchain technology, what would kind of prevent them from coming in and doing that, including these folks as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll answer the latter question first. So the reason they wouldn't want to do that is because they make too much money off the data, right? The data collection is a $250 billion industry. It's bigger than cloud storage itself. So it wouldn't make sense to try to attack a smaller market and give up a bigger one. So that's why these big players, they've known about this technology for years, but they just refuse to willingly go into it. In terms of competitors, it's an open market. They're allowed to come in. We're kind of the first mover when it comes to that, and we've already established our MVP, and we have contracts already signed.
So another question. Office 365, Microsoft, I mean, it's really hard as a business, a large business, to get away from using the Microsoft platform. How do you integrate? So if I'm already Office 365, I have storage, what's your sales pitch to me?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we have planned, the next step is kind of a DocuSign alternative where you can sign documents directly within the app. And also we're planning to launch a suite of other apps. The next one is going to be a VPN and then also a Microsoft 365 alternative. So we understand a lot of it is just ease of use. And then your companies kind of require employees to use these applications. And we understand that completely, which is why we want to implement all of this moving forward.
Yeah, a similar question to that actually would be, and good seeing you again, by the way. You know, your competitors spend billions of dollars a year to make sure that their data is safe, especially when it comes to customer data. So how are you going to be able to navigate an environment where your competitors can outspend you for the next few years? Do you have an answer to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a confusion of terms here. The reason they spend all of that money is because they collect your data, right? We don't have to protect anything that we don't collect. So we don't collect your location, your IP address, so on and so forth. They have to spend that money in order to protect the data that they collect, right? We don't collect that data, so therefore we don't have to protect it. Secondly, it's on the blockchain, which already has incredible encryption that's understood internationally by all of these companies. So again, we're not reinventing the wheel when it comes to the decentralization and protecting the data. We're just using the blockchain instead of having financial institutions on there and putting money on it, we're putting your data on it. So that's why we can claim that it is more secure than these companies because they have been hacked many times in the past, but the blockchain is yet to be. So come check.
All right. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Mahmoud. All right. Another educational moment just popped up. When we talk to students how to best prepare for a pitch competition, we always say, check out who the judges are. News flash, judges, check out who you're judging. Because you're kind of pseudo-ransomware right now into, and I think Mahmoud is going to take $20 to tell you who of you 6 has this violation of your cell phone going on. I think he's going to do this. All right. Next up, a hometown favorite. Algenair is back. Dan Fucic is here. Algen became second in the 2020 Pitch Dingman event. They came in second at the Heartland Challenge competition, and they won the NASA Space Exploration Award at the Rice Business Plan competition. I have a feeling this company is getting really good. They should open up another company that just wins business plan competitions. So without further ado, Dan, Pitch Dingman again.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dan Fusich, and I am a co-founder of Algenair. And we create living technology to improve the health and wellness of humans in our modern built environment. I first want to start out by having everybody take a deep breath together. So unfortunately, the air that you just put into your lungs can contain carbon dioxide levels that are 3 to 5 times higher than what is naturally occurring outside of that window, and that is detrimental to your health. And it's only worsened when we consider about half of all Americans live in urban environments with unhealthy ventilation sources, so you're only worsening the problem. We thought that there was a better way. So we built our living technology platform, and it's centered around nature's best tool for carbon dioxide sequestration, microalgae. It's the reason for 60% of the oxygen in your lungs this second. Around that biology, we've built our patent-pending technology, wrapped it in an aesthetically pleasing package, and inside, we developed our proprietary media formulation that optimizes performance. Now, on this platform, we've built several product lines. Our flagship, the Arium. It is the world's first natural air purifier that uses microalgae and packs the potential of 25 houseplants in a compact desktop package that's easy to maintain. But it's a one-room solution for an entire building problem. And that's why in 2022, we launched the first of our modular and retrofittable solutions so we can clean any volume of air or any number of inhabitants that a building owner might have. And that will bridge the gap for our whole building solutions, where we can integrate our living technology from blueprint to groundbreaking, which is really exciting. So far, we've got hundreds of customers around the globe, and we're very thankful for them. And we've doubled our carbon dioxide sequestration totals over the last years, which we're very thankful for. And we've also launched our first commercial paid contract at the Pittsburgh International Airport, who my co-founder was at the Aviation Expo today, so Kelsey Abernathy, so she couldn't join us, but we actually got a shout out from the Pittsburgh International Airport CEO. So very proud of Kelsey for that, great job. That's for our paid pilot. We're also working with them. We've secured that contract for the foreseeable future, and we're actually helping them get LEED Gold certification in their newly built terminal for 2024. Now, all of our living tech works on a recurring revenue model. You've got the upfront hardware sale and a refill subscription. At scale, it gets better. We can actually sell the algal biomass. Our team is incredible. I could talk about them for 30 minutes, but we can talk about that afterwards. And with the funds, we're going to upgrade and automate and have remote monitoring for our large-scale installation. So thank you so much for the time, the opportunity, and happy to take any questions that you may have.
Hi there. Thanks so much. I loved hearing about that. My question is a bit more about your customer research and your current customer base and how you're thinking about scaling that in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually running a diagnostic, like a data analysis with some Quest University of Maryland students. So we're digging customer data. What we do know about them, they tend to be tech-focused millennial males between 25 and 35, and they really love like cutting-edge technology, which is really great. They tend to live in urban areas where you can't just open a window, and they do have disposable income for average of that zip code.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Your slide showed that you are in Brookstore, Sharper Image, and one other retailer.
That's right.
But the total sales are about 600 odd customers currently. Does that include those retail sales as well?
Repeat the last part of your question, I'm sorry.
Does the 600 customer includes all the sales that you have from these retailers?
Yes, and the vast majority, I will say, of those our 600 customers for the consumer product came directly from our website. Brookstone, Touch of Modern, and Sharper Image, we're all out competing them for sales of our device.
Okay.
Yes, are we good? All right, thank you, Van. Thank you very much for Algenair. All right, our next all-star, Jonathan Russell, comes from Exclusive Kicks. Now, I wasn't aware that there's actually a huge market for those new dropped Nikes until my nephew told me that he just bought a pair of slightly used Nikes that are not even in his size. And I said, why would you do that? He said, it's an investment. And in order to help you with that or get the kicks you really like, we have Jonathan with us from Exclusive Kicks. He founded it, and the company has already won the Bowie State University's Bulldog Pitch Competition in 2022. Go Bulldogs, right? Okay. And also second place at the Community College of Baltimore in 2022. So Jonathan, to the stage. Please pitch Dingman.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Russell, owner of Exclusive Kicks, an aftermarket specialist business that provides 100% authentic sneakers and youth entrepreneurship development programs. Exclusive Kicks was founded in 2017 from just a passion and a love for sneakers. And over the past few years, I've noticed a few different challenges. So let's take a look at Mike here. Mike's a 20-year-old male who loves collecting sneakers and purchasing them for different occasions. But over the past few months, he's had a hard time collecting these one pair of Jordans he really loves. He goes in stores, but the lines are way too long. He tries online, but gets the sneakers L every time. And just with his busy schedule, he doesn't want to pose the risk for buying a pair of knockoffs. This is where Exclusive Kicks come in. We offer 100% authentic, diverse products. We offer personalized, convenient customer service, fair prices, and delivery services to ease your sneaker purchasing process. When it comes to target market, we do business to business and business to consumer, ages 10 to 45 years old. And we try to focus more on our fashion forward individuals, your sneakerheads. As far as the demographics, we are in the DMV area. We are branching out to national markets as well. And online is a big contributor too. When it comes to our competition, we have two main competitors, local shops and online platform. What makes Exclusive Kicks unique is one, the price. We charge no more than $350 for a pair of sneakers. Next, the opportunity to negotiate. Whether you're a consistent client or you're buying multiple pairs for family and friends, you are able to negotiate the price with us. And lastly, just that personalized, convenient customer service, whether it's one-on-one consultations, delivery services, or just a variety of inventory. Next, we have our team, myself. I am a subject matter expert in the sneaker industry. Been doing it for a few years. I have been a part of multiple accelerator programs and entrepreneurship incubator programs to build the business. I have my marketing team, my buying team, and financial team that helps run Exclusive Kicks. Next, we have our financial model. We have a hard 20 to 50% profit margin on each product sold. So we have the product wholesale costs, delivery fee, and other expenses, and we get our final sale price. You can see the examples below. As far as our business traction, for the monthly revenue of 2022, as you can see in monthly of 2023, Q1, we have different peak months and down months. And this year going in, we're re-strategizing to more focus our resources on those peak months. And we have testimonials from over 300 sales done last year. And 23% of those customers are returning. So what's next for Exclusive Kicks? We want to continue to scale, improve our marketing budget, keep buying more inventory, and buying a new vehicle to travel to more events across the nation and to continue meeting our clients. Next, we want to continue to develop into our youth entrepreneurship programs where they'll be able to learn the basics of entrepreneurship. And the reason of this is because we want to, one, create more visibility for Exclusive Kicks and our brand. We want to venture into new markets. And lastly, we want to make a social impact in the community and build that next generation of entrepreneurs. And lastly, to ease and to complement the entrepreneurship program, a monthly Discord group where members will be able to pay a monthly fee to continue their business plan, network with like-minded individuals, and also just keep building their business. And with that being said, you can scan the QR codes to contact us. Thank you.
Jonathan, so I have some experience with this. I have two sneakerheads in my house. I have a son who will pay anything for sneakers and a husband who lets him. And so question for you, are your customers coming online? Are they meeting you in pop-ups? Like,
Definitely.
where are you getting your customers? And then if I have a specific sneaker I'm looking for, how do I engage with you on that?
Definitely. We do online sales, eBay, your OfferUp marketplace, my own website, and we do direct sales, whether it's pop-up events locally. We do travel to different states. And yes, if there's a specific sneaker you're looking for, you can contact us directly. And I have a large network where I can find that sneaker. And if I can't, I can maybe find a substitute.
Jonathan, great job. Can you tell us a little bit more about the youth entrepreneurship program facet and why you guys decided to tack that onto your business model?
Definitely, definitely. Well, I do want to create more visibility for exclusive kicks, but over the past year, I've been hearing a lot of youth, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, ask me, "Hey, John, I want to start my own resale business, or can you help me develop my own business?" So I feel as though this is an area where they'll be able to sign up and join. And we've been developing this over the past year with the help of Bowie State University, and I've pitched to a few different local schools, and I do have a partnership with Indian Creek this summer, where I'll be hosting my first pilot camp, where users can register and they'll just learn how to start their own business through the skills they already possess, whether they're good at cooking or good at photography or something simple, but it's still a business.
All right, business, are we good? All right, give a big hand to Jonathan.
Thank you.
Hey, Jonathan, stay on stage. Jonathan, come back, come back. You gotta come back. All right. This is the new business professional. Suit and sneaker.
Nice sneaks on.
So it's totally legit. If you're in this business, it's totally legit. Eat that product. All right, thank you, Jonathan. All right, our last competitor in the All-Star round is Meridian Health. It's a familiar face. Back on stage, the CEO, Aishwarya Tare, is a TERP and a runner-up of the 2022 Pitch Dingman competition. The company is focused on preventative healthcare, which for me is an essential part. My wife's side of the family, they're all dentists. It's really bad to have Thanksgiving with a bunch of dentists because they'll look at your teeth all the time. Why didn't you come for a little bit of a cleaning? Or I see something we could do, preventative care. All right. She's doing this way better than me. Aishwarya, please pitch Dingman again.
Hi, my name is Aishwarya, and I'm the founder and CEO of Meridian Health, where we're building better connected care experiences for college students so they can access better health care. When I came onto a college campus for the first time when I was 17, as a former athlete who was absolutely health obsessed, the last thing I expected to happen in those 4 years was to end up in urgent care twice, get diagnosed with multiple gut health issues, and crippling anxiety and depression. My best friends would go through emergency rooms, abortions, STDs, and a slew of healthcare issues. And the worst part was that all of it was preventative. All of it was preventable. I found that the most important thing to take away from this experience is just how difficult the healthcare system is to access. And this led me to the conclusion that information is a determinant of health. And not only for patients, it also applies to universities, for example. When we talk to clinicians from over 50 universities, the biggest, most critical issue they pointed to was that access gap. However, they also acknowledged that they didn't have the data and information they needed to actually build those interventions to support students. And as a result, this cost them over $15 billion that they would lose from student churn and dropout rates. With Meridian, we are reducing that care journey from 2 months to just 2 weeks by ensuring that with our AI digital health assistant, we are tracking every single step of that healthcare journey with students, from scheduling appointments to following up on the referrals or accessing medication. And for universities, we are streamlining all of these disorganized and siloed data sets into one operational hub where counseling centers, university health centers, and upper level administration can all collaborate and work together to actually inform what these student health outcomes look like. We began pitching to universities in February, and in just 2 months have obtained 3 pilot contracts, which gives us $100K in contracted revenue for just this year. It's only the first quarter, so I'm just getting started. But our market opportunity includes university health centers, counseling centers, and community health clinics. We will also be launching our first university health clinic pilot at the end of the summer. This brings us to an overall market opportunity of $3 billion and a unique opportunity to affect the way the healthcare system works at large. We know that selling to universities is really difficult, but we have experience being on both sides of this coin. Dr. Micah Griffin has worked in the higher ed space for over 20 years and has been the director of 4 university health systems in the past, including Penn State. My operating experience comes from being an early engineer at 2 now Series A startups, where I learned a lot about NLP and AI. And Shraddha's entire career has been in natural language processing and AI. So 10K could do a lot for us because we haven't even gotten through the money we won from Pitch Dingman last year. And this will allow us to reach our compliance milestones, that's HIPAA and FERPA primarily, and actually ensure that we can follow up, execute on these contracts for the fall, and also present at the biggest healthcare conference, college health conference later this year, and get in front of some of the biggest university health players. For me, Meridian is a way to give back to the community and what I wish I had when I was a college student. Everybody on this team is under the age of 26, with the exception of Micah. And as a result, we're really excited to bring to 17,000 students in August what we hope will be the start of us changing the healthcare industry forever. So thank you for your time and your consideration.
So how are you, the data that you're giving students access to, how are you accessing it? I know you mentioned AI, it's an AI digital health journey, but are you partnering with health care companies? Are you partnering with other providers of mental health services, for example? How are you getting the data to the students?
Yeah, so all of it is entirely run by their first question, for example. So when they say something like, I have a headache, right? That a lot of it is going to be triaging and giving that data to university health centers so they can better manage healthcare. But a lot of this information on their dashboard, their personal dashboards that are recommended to them, are coming from their campus on and campus on and off campus resources, as well as trusted resources like the CDC, Planned Parenthood, things like that.
Okay.
Okay, so you're not in the business. There's no clinicians on your team providing any care. You're just playing the role of middleman, so to speak. It's just the platform.
Data management, yeah.
Okay.
Could you talk a little bit about competition?
Yeah, you saw that slide.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do have a couple of competitors. Everybody has recognized that care navigation is the biggest problem and the way that students actually enter the healthcare system. However, we've really focused on integrating with EMRs to improve clinical workflows on the university side. Everybody knows that healthcare is difficult to access, but the way that we can change universities and actually improve the way that students see healthcare in general is by supporting university clinicians and administrators in their mission to be there and support students. And nobody else is doing that. Case management and care coordination is what we're also providing on the university end. And while we do have one competitor doing this, we have also focused on the data that we have gathered, which means that, students would be coming to us much, much earlier than they would be coming in for care once they already need it, to Timely Care, for example, that provides telehealth.
What is your revenue model? How do you make money?
So we're B2B2C, and so we're selling university health center and community health contracts.
So it's a software-based model? Any recurring revenue based on the number of usage and anything like that?
I don't know if, oops. Yes, so this is helpful. This is basically a breakdown of our pilot pricing. 20,000 base implementation is really just for all the huge technical undertaking that this is going to be. It is dependent on the amount of students you have at your university, but it's really about, you can think about it as like project management, right, for universities. And so the value that this really provides is to break down those silos and those different departments of in higher education, and ensure that everybody's on the same page.
All right, thank you very much. Meridian Health. All right, so we kind of need to, not redo, but we want to enhance our last QR code. This is for the Quattrone track, so still time to put your audience vote in now. This is not for the All-Star, this is for Quattrone first. Am I correct in that one? All right, so this is All-Star pilot track, okay. No? All of them are open. So you just pick one. Just pick one. I love QR codes. I love them. They were supposed to be dead 5 years ago. All right. So, have we done the Quattrone track? Who is managing that? Should we just raise hands? How about that? So if it's on Menti, I think it's on Menti, right? It's like the students who don't take part in the exercise with Menti, they're gonna hustle to the slide 28 to get the vote in. That's us now. All right. So our second group of judges has just left the room. The first set of judges is already big in there, so we'll have their results very soon. Our second set of judges is now taking care of our all-stars, and they're going quickly through that. I think we can move one slide forward now. Everybody did the QR code. All right, this is the time they told me, hey, you got 7 minutes. All right, let's have the next slide, please. All right, so before we move on, kind of a personal thing, and a personal thing for I think many in the room. Those of you who are new students may not know a very famous person that we lost this year. Rudolph, also known as Rudy, no, not also, only known as Rudy Lamone, passed away at almost 92 years old. Rudy is a legend. And I want to explain it to those of you who don't have a Rudy story, because most of us who have a Rudy story, you know Rudy. But for the students here, if you walk through Van Manching Hall and you wonder how this happened, it was Rudy who got the money to build the Van Manching Hall. Leo Van Manching spent the money to build a unique idea. Rudy Lamone was a guy who thought entrepreneurship is cool before most people couldn't even spell the word. They thought it's something weird in French, right? Rudy established the art of teaching entrepreneurship. Rudy was the OG pitch Dingman, because that's where we got the money from for the Dingman Center. He was dean for 10 years. I loved the guy. When I came here 17 years ago, I started the entrepreneurship program over in Shady Grove. And we had a student group, a student entrepreneurship group. And I don't know from where, but Rudy showed up and we won the annual Student Organization Award. Amazing guy. We have a cafe named in his favor. He probably doesn't approve the food, but I know he loved the name, right? Internal joke. But we also have an annual Rudy Award named after Rudy. And yeah, sorry if I brag, but I was the first winner of that Rudy Award. And thank you for that, Rudy. And to close it up, I think he joins the ranks of those people we just know by one name: Pele, Ali, Oprah, and then there's Rudy. So he's here tonight. Thank you, Rudy. All right. You're sitting here very calmly. I see even some of my students making it to the end of this thing, so I know who you are. Thank you very much. It's always good to have a professor with a warm and fuzzy feeling when it comes to grading season. Yes, I see you. And I saw who left too. And I know who's not here. Okay. So you're asking yourself, as an entrepreneur, we have always think, what's in it for me? And you're asking yourself, what's in it for me here tonight, right? And we're going to answer this question right now. You're sitting there for almost 2 hours. It's time to get up off your chair because there are 20 lucky winners. Okay, it's not an Oprah moment, but there are 20 lucky winners. Under your chair is a $5 Starbucks card to help you with the inflation to get yourself a coffee. So please look under your chair. We need to find 20 cards. We got a winner over there. We got a second winner. All right. It's amazing what people are doing for $5 these days. All right. All right. We need to count it. If we don't get to 20, stay longer. Help us clean up. Check every chair. 20. We got to go to 20. How many do we have here? There was one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Couple more. All right, I'll stay longer. I'm going to check it. So what we do in entrepreneurial tradition, this is, of course, not your coffee. This is not your coffee. This is the card you're going to spend on somebody else, right? As my students know, never eat alone, don't have a latte alone. You're going to invite somebody to network. You could find the business partner that you need. You can find the spouse you need. I don't know, could be. Or you have to make somebody's day great by using these $5 gift cards. So a few words here. I think we have a few more moments. First of all the judges, many of you, I know, I love them. Some of them, I'm so long here, are actually students of mine at some point. I'm not going to point out, but it's been a while since I'm here, right? And what I hope from the winners of tonight is to do the same thing as they did. Entrepreneurship is the same with Rudy right now. We're standing on the shoulders of giants, right? And we're going to pass on. I have never been in a better community where people genuinely like to help people without the ask of a return. This is very unique when we have events and we always say, hey, we have this great network of former entrepreneurs. There is no ask. They just come and help out. So anybody who wins, how much you win or not, do the same thing. In 20 years, when I'm really in need of wise city services, right? I want you to be in that front line here and gonna help out and judge and forward it to the pay it forward to the next, or pay it back to the next generation. We've seen this in the last couple of months, these large corporations throwing out thousands of people on the street. Behind 10,000 people kicked off at Microsoft are probably 40, 50,000 people who suffer right now from that job loss. And the one thing that startup entrepreneurs have is the empathy for people they hire. I've been there myself. The worst day in my life to this day, and I wake up from it, was the day I had to let somebody go. It's super, super hard because in the end, after many years of reflection and suppressed anger, it was me who was not the right person for this match. I made the mistake. It was not the employee. So this is great. We want to hear at UMD, the one thing I think we can all work for is to create an ecosystem that allows people who graduate from UMD to have job offers before they even leave. 6 months, a year from now, they have been interns in your company, you put dibs on them, and dibs means you show them what's possible. This is what we can achieve here with all the local and close to local. Terps should hire Terps, or at least when everything is equal, go for the Terp, right? That's what we should do, and that helps us to build this ecosystem and create a really an environment of emphatic business leaders. I'm looking over to, oh yes, wonderful. See, we have the filler. I was wondering, there was something. See, I'm off script now, right? Everything else was at script, so they told me stay in the script. Anyways, with that, before we come to the announcement, we want to look back at the people, and I was talking about the people who were here and won. So we have a little clip of former winners and finalists at the Pitch Dingman Center pitch. So you'll see the video. Thank you.
Our market is distributed in season and has been growing with a rate of 10% each month. We have 80 chefs and 2 employees. This wouldn't be possible without participating in the pitch demand competition. The prize funding we received from develop the business and move forward confidently. Best wishes are to showcase our talent and compete for a top prize. Enjoy the moment. We are rooting for you.
Virtual coaching and peer support healthcare with populations that faces greater than 60% risk. Since Pitch Dingman, our team has raised over $3 million in funding and has grown the company to over $200K in contracted annual recurring revenue. We're all now working on the venture full for first initial enterprise customers, including the American Nurses Association. We're really excited about the impact that we can make for healthcare professionals. Winning Pitch Dingman really gave us the confidence that we were on the right track and was a huge source of motivation for our industry. Really wish the best of luck to everyone competing and know y'all will show
it. These guys take some time here. It's hard to judge the All-Stars. So Lottie is back on stage, and I have to say we are a tag team. We teach classes together, so this was cool that we're having this night together here. So what's up next? We have we have another round of prizes.
Yes.
You
should see our tap routine. It's perfect. All right, so we have a couple specialty prizes that we're going to start with, which will hopefully buy us a little bit more time for the judges. So specialty prizes, all Main Street and Quattrone Track top 12, except the finalists, were eligible for these specialty prizes, and each one is about a $1,000 award. So to start, we'll start with the best graduate founder or team. They are sealed for security.
All right. The winner of the specialty prizes, La La Land. No, Pet Passport. The winner, Pet Passport.
If you're
Anybody
here,
from
please
Pet
stand
Passport
so we
in
can
the house? I know these guys. We started in our class. Love it. Not La La Land. Good.
So, yes, if you are here and you're one of the specialty prize winners,
Please raise
do
your hand
stand
if you're,
so we
if you're
can
there, so we can
greet
point you out.
All right, the second one, best Marilyn Smith, student, founder, or team. There you go.
Here we go. The Exercise Network. Anybody there from Exercise Network? All right. Looking fit over there. Yeah.
All right, next one is our Ladies First Founder Prize. For most of you that know this, the Dingman Center, we've been running a Ladies First program since about 2016. And this year it changed into inclusive entrepreneurship as a larger thing. So this is our continuing the tradition of Ladies First Founder for best ladies founded team.
All right. The best ladies team is Visionergy. Is that correct?
Visionergy.
Visionergy. There we go. Give it up for the ladies. Vision. Do we have anybody from the team here? Visionergy. That's a good one.
All right. Next up is our Social Impact Award. I shouldn't have sealed these, y'all. I just wanted to make sure no one could tamper with them. All right. There you go.
All right. Social impact winner. Front ground. Where's front ground? Do we have somebody from front ground there? In the back? You have to stand up. There we go. Look at the back. Yeah, give it up. There we go.
Next, the Sustainability Award for Most Sustainable Business. Why is it so hard?
I had a Leatherman. She didn't want to
I know,
have
it's
it.
true.
All right. Sustainability Award. Arch Dash. Anybody from Arch Dash here? Arch Dash is in the house over there. Thank you, Arch Dash. All right. $1,000 goes a long way these days.
All right, so our final specialty award of $1,000 is in honor of a young Dingman entrepreneur, Tom Savransky, who passed away in 2021. And anybody who knew Tom knew that he embodied that in spirit of entrepreneurial grit and resilience. And I'm happy to say that the winner of this one, which actually comes from the finalists, also has those qualities. This prize is organized by Johnny's friends and co-founder, Johnny Schneider and Sahej Singh. Johnny's here with us tonight, I think. Are you here, Johnny? Can you stand up if you're here? Oh, okay. In the back.
He's in the house, in the back. Come on, give it up for him. Great effort. Thank you. Great memorial.
So Johnny's going to extend a personal thank you and hello to the team that has won Tom's Industrious Entrepreneur Award. And also sealed that one. Here you go.
Here we go. All right, it's one of the players tonight. It's Sustainably. In the house, come on up. You didn't know that, right? I didn't know. No, it was sealed for a reason.
Sneaky, the only one that
All right.
finalists are eligible for.
You got to shake hands. Great effort. Thanks for doing this. All right.
Okay, the last of the specialty prizes is decided by you, our audience. So this is the first of the audience choice prizes, the Founder Showcase Prize. Can I go a little drum roll? A little drum roll? I like drum rolls.
All right. Rent My Closet. Where's Rent My Closet? Rent My Closet. Thank you very much. Do you also rebuild my closet? I need one. Yeah. Excellent.
So
all right.
Congratulations to all the specialty track winners. We hope to see you again next year as finalists. So we're going to begin moving into the track prizes with the idea track. I'm looking in on the judges as we speak. They are having a very hard time, it sounds like. So, hopefully we can do it. All right, so idea track. This is something that has already taken place. So the finals for Idea Track was on March 31st. And these were businesses that are early stage. So it could have been fresh off a napkin, pre-prototype, pre-revenue. Do you want to add a little?
Yeah, so for me, this is important for all the students who are taking entrepreneurship classes and think, oh my God, you know, pitch Dingman, I need to do so much. I don't have time for all of that. We want to get you started early. We want to get your idea captured. And getting out with your idea is the first step. So the Idea Track has 2 prizes. This is $3,000, and we have a second prize of $2,000. And this is just for the idea stage. This is how much we believe in early stage ideas. And most entrepreneurs in the room know, once you start with your first idea, you just get hooked. That's what we do. It's like you buy this stuff on the street corner stuff, right? This is our, like, you want to have the Idea Track Crunch? Here we go. Right? So that's what we do. We believe in you, that we give you the money without even a completely validated business model that hasn't been gone through all the judging, etc. That's how much we believe in that. All right?
Could have been a generous description, but
it's late in the evening.
So
but that's how we believe in it.
Because they're still early. Part of the grand prize is $3,000 and guaranteed admission into the Terp Startup Summer Accelerator. So we can give you some training now that you're getting some progress here. Second prize is $2,000. All right.
All right. I'm here. This is one. This is first. Oh, you get both of them. So the grand prize, that's how it goes.
Start with second.
Oh, this is how it works. So the second place, the company's name is Spray. Anybody from that? All right. But we're taking guesses what that is for. We'll see. Grand prize, $3,000. The company's name is Tesson. Where's Tesson? There we go. Tesson is in the house. All right. Lottie just mentioned that there's these companies just getting started. We have the summer program. I think it's still $5,000 support in the summer. So if you don't get an internship, my God, start your own business. You know, that's the idea. Don't get your resume bought with some brand name. You can do it right here. We pay you $5,000. Not only do you get the internship money, but you get support, special workshops. You might end up in one of mine or Lottie's classes on top of that in this process. So there's enormous amount of support here. We live for that. We want to help everybody to get fresh start. All the people that have donated to the Dingman Center, to the school, etc. This is. Let me. Do we need to fill time? I want to tell a little story.
So it is official. The votes are in. Alex is running over here with the
okay.
With the
Well,
results.
we have 30 seconds, right? I want to tell you my operating mode. And please, the dean is in the house. I have to be careful what I let out to let him know how I operate. But there's an old fable, and the old fable is called the rock soup fable. And so it goes, there's somebody coming into town, he's hungry, and he is knocking on all the doors, says, do you have some food for me? And everybody said, no, we're not giving anything. We're not giving out any food for you. All right. So he goes through this whole village. Nobody gives him food. And he comes back, and the only thing to his name is a cauldron, you know, like this witch's cauldron. So he goes back to this village, and he lights a fire in the center of this village. He puts some water in it, gets this to boil, and then he throws in a couple of rocks and starts stirring these rocks. And everybody's looking, and people coming out and say, what are you doing here? You know, I'm making a rock soup. People say, you're stupid. You know, nobody can eat a rock soup. He said, you just need to boil it long enough. Just wait, right? He's doing the stirring, and more people come. I said, is it really good? I said, look, you know, if you have some salt left, just throw it in there. It gets better. Well, somebody throws in some salt. Is this good? And he's like, no, not good. Anybody got some carrots maybe? Let's throw in some carrots. All right, we get some potatoes over there. Yeah, let's pour the potatoes over there. Get some leftover meat there. This looks good. Why don't you? Yeah, let's put it in there. Let's see what happens. And you get where this is going, right? In the end, everybody who didn't want to contribute, in the end, contribute just a little, and it's going to feed the whole village. And that's what we're kind of trying to do here with all the little initiatives. Everyone can help out. Everybody makes things happy. So we're cooking an awesome rock soup here at Maryland. All right, we're good to go. Well, the judges are back. Got some numbers.
Judges are back, but Alex isn't with the results.
I could have made this longer.
Well, do you want to explain why you have an air horn?
Okay, here, this is how you prepare for an event like this. This is actually for the judges, but you know, they all behave. Because after 4 minutes of judging, I said, okay, it's no more questions. I want to warn them is, you know, this is sustainable. This is the only air horn I found that doesn't need a gas cartouche, you know, got compressed air. This is just, I can annoy the hell out of everybody in my house. My wife already protested. I said, why did you buy this thing? I said, I don't need an air compression. Yeah, what else is here? Well, there's more here. So I got, this is for the candle.
So we have no envelope? No envelope? I can do it without an envelope.
We do no envelope.
Uh,
Do we go?
is it in order? Okay, it is in order, but we're gonna start with audience choice.
Okay.
Okay, so Main Street, I have to like hide this, so when you come up, you can't see it. We're gonna start with Main Street track. If you'll go ahead, all of our Main Street competitors, if you'll come up on stage.
Main Street. All right. The Main Street crew. The good news is everybody goes home with at least $1,000. Yeah, just for showing up.
Okay, can I get a round of applause for Main Street? Okay, cool. So the audience choice prize winner, oh yay, envelopes, makes me so happy. The audience choice prize winner is?
The audience choice prize winner is room 242. Just doubled to $2,000 minimum. The third place, room 242. So for the next one, since everybody can do the math, there's 3 up here and 2. So I'm going to read both of them. Second first, then the winner, and then we clap like for both of them together, double as loud, okay? So second place, not your average candle, and winner, around the block. Right, photographer, we have to take a picture, quick picture. All right, one more time. Give it up one more time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh,
all right.
Well done, guys.
I wonder if you take a picture and send it to Bank of America with your iPhone, if they take. I was wondering if they take that. I don't know. That would be fun.
All right. Next up, we have Quattrone Tech Track. If you guys can come up to the stage.
All right, Tech Track. Come on up here. Good job.
All righty. So starting off with the Audience Choice Prize.
Audience Choice Prize, your vote, $1,000 to Y Cities. And the third prize goes to Y Cities. Same routine. Second place, Lingo AI, and the winner, Sustainably. Give it up one more time for the winners of the Patron Tech Trek. Excellent. Great job, guys. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for bearing with us, y'all. We are on to the final track. This is the All-Stars pilot track.
All right, All-Stars, where are you?
Come on.
All-Stars on the stage, please.
Thank you.
I got to learn the new code here. All right, audience choice. First off, your voice. Exclusive Kicks Audience Choice Award. All right, the grand prize goes to Meridian Health. Give it up for Meridian Health. And before we let them off the stage, give a warm welcome for our not UMD participants who came all the way down here to Pitt. Thank you very much. We love you. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wonderful.
So we also have checks for the idea track. So idea track, the two winners for that, Tessin and Spray. If you want to come up and like take a photo real quick with your checks, please do. And I'm gonna just start saying the thank you since a bunch of you are leaving. Thank you guys for being here today. These students, you guys have worked so hard to get to where you are, and it shows. So well done. Everyone drive safe tonight.
All right, thank you very much. Have a great evening. Students, you're off tomorrow. I see you on Monday. Thank you very much for the night. Bye-bye.